Hello everybody, Nerdy Friend here. Welcome to No Lives Left, and I'm going to tell you a story. Now I'm going to tell you the tale of Cupcakes. Cupcakes is the most well-known creepypasta involving My Little Pony to date. I've heard about it several times. I've read videos on, or watched videos on it, but I never actually read it. So, let's dig into this pasta. Cupcakes. The air was warm, the sun was shining, and all of Ponyville was having a glorious day. The town square was bustling and crowded. Busy ponies were making their busy way through the streets. All the pony folk seemed to have somewhere to be, all except Rainbow Dash. Her place was in the sky. She freely tore through the air, speeding one way to the next. She buzzed the treetops and raced the wind. The Pegasus swooped over a schoolyard, much to the delight of the children. Climbing several hundred feet, she dove, going as fast as she could. Seconds before hitting the ground, her wings flew open as she took off back into the clear blue. Rainbow felt alive. She then remembered she had somewhere to be. She was supposed to meet with Pinkie Pie in 5 minutes. She'd gotten so caught up in her exercises that she nearly forgot. Pinkie had asked Dash to meet her at the Sugar Cube Corner at 3. She didn't say why or what they'd be doing, but Dash knew that with Pinkie Pie it could be anything. She wasn't sure if she really wanted to go, though. She was so engaged with her stunts that she thought about blowing Pinkie Pie off to continue flying, but Dash's conscience got to the better of her. She knew that it would hurt Pinkie's feelings. After all, she said it was going to be something special just for the two of them. She considered it and thought, why not? What did she have to lose? Heck, it might be more pranking. Pinkie might have found a bunch more fun stuff to pull off on folks. They'd so much fun the last time. Dash kicked it into overdrive, mostly to make for lost time, and sped to her appointment. When she walked into the store, she was immediately greeted with her host bouncing in excitement. "Yay, you're here, you're here! I've been waiting all day," said the jumping pony. "Sorry if I'm a little late, Pinkie. I was doing my afternoon exercises and lost track of time," Dash apologized. Pinkie giggled and responded, her tone gleefully reassuring. "Oh, that's okay. You're here now. What's a few more minutes? I've been so excited thinking about all fun stuff we're gonna do. I haven't stopped bouncing since I woke up. I mean, I almost forgot to breathe. I've been so happy." Dash gave a slightly uncomfortable laugh. She always appreciated Pinkie's friendly, outgoing way of life, but her overabundant enthusiasm almost creeped her out. Dash was polite, however. If Pinkie was got this worked up, then it must be good, whatever it was. "So, you ready to get started, Rainbow Dash? I've got everything all ready," the pink one said. Dash psyched herself up. "You betcha, Pinkie. What have you got planned? We gonna prank somebody? I got a couple of good ones I've been thinking about. Or maybe you got some stunts you think I should try? Or maybe making cupcakes," Pinkie happily announced. "Baking." Dash was disappointed. "Pinkie, you know I'm not good at baking. Remember the last time?" "Oh, that's not a problem at all. I only need your help making them. I'll be doing most of the work," Pinkie explained. Dash thought about it for a second and replied, "Well, alright. I guess that's okay. What exactly do you need me to do?" "That's the spirit. Here you go." Pinkie handed Dash a cupcake. Dash was puzzled. "I thought I was going to help you bake." "You will be. I made this one just for you before you got here." "So, is this like a taste testing or something?" "Sorta," Pinkie said. Dash shrugged and popped the pastry in her mouth. She chewed a bit and swallowed. "Not bad." "Okay, now what?" Dash said. "Now," Pinkie informed, "you take a nap." Upon hearing that, Dash felt lightheaded. Her world spun, and seconds later she dropped to the floor. When Dash regained consciousness, she found herself in a dark room. She tried to shake her head, but found that the taut leather strap kept it firmly in place. She struggled to move, but the braces around her chest and limbs glued her to the upright planks. Her legs were spread wide apart, and the only part of her not tied down were her wings, as the frame was backless. As she writhed, Pinky jumped into her line of sight. "Goody, you're awake. Now we can get started," she gleefully stated. She was pushing a cart covered with a cloth. "Pinky, what's going on?" "I can't move," Dash said with worry. "Well, duh, you're tied down," Pinky chided. "That's why you can't move. I didn't think you needed told that." "But why? What's happening? I thought you said I was going to help make cupcakes." "You are helping. You see, I ran out of the special ingredient that I need, and I need you to get more." "Special ingredient?" Dash was now breathing heavily and starting to panic. "What special ingredient?" Pinky giggled and responded. "You, silly." Dash's eyes widened. Her face contorted in fear. Then she started to laugh. "You really got me there, Pinkie Pie. I mean, tricking me to thinking I'm gonna get made into a cupcake. I gotta tell you, this is the best prank yet. You win, you're the best." Pinky giggled even more. "Aw, thanks, Dash, but I haven't done any pranks today, so I can't accept your praise." Dash was struggling again. "Pinky, come on, this isn't funny." "Then why were you laughing?" Pinky grabbed the cloth and whipped it off the cart. The top of the tray contained various sharp medical tools, and knives carefully organized and ready. There was a medicine bag and several other objects next to them. Dash was now in full panic mode. She was starting to hyperventilate. Her mind was racing, and she tried to reason with the pink pony. "You can't do this, Pinkie Pie. I'm your friend." "I know you are, and that's why I'm so happy that I've got you here. We get to share our last moments together. Just you and me." She was skipping again. "But the other ponies will wonder where I am. When the clouds pile up, they'll come looking for me, and you'll get found out." Dash was desperate. "Oh, Dash," Pinky said, "don't worry. There are plenty of Pegasus to take care of a few clouds. And besides, no one will find out. I mean, how long do you think I've been doing this?" And with that, the light suddenly came to life and showcased the rest of the room. "Oh, God, no!" Dash reeled in horror as the image presented to her. The room was decorated with a typical but twisted Pinkie Pie flair. Colorful streamers of dried entrails danced around the ceiling. Brightly painted skulls of all sizes were stuck on the walls, and organs done up in pastels filled with helium tied to the backs of chairs. The tables and chairs were made of bones and flesh of past ponies. Dash cringed at the centerpiece on the table nearest her. The heads of 4 foals, their eyes closed like they were sleeping, wearing party hats made from their own skin. She recognized one of them as Apple Bloom's classmate. Her eyes darted back and forth and then gazed up at the patchwork banner hanging from the rafters, made from several pony hides. The words, "Life is a party," were scrawled in red. Dash's attention was stolen by a party horn unfurling and tickling her nose. She saw Pinkie Pie standing in front of her. The party pony was wearing a dress quilted from cutie marks. On her back fluttered 6 Pegasus wings, all different colors. As she skipped in excitement, her necklace of unicorn horns loudly clacked together. "Like it?" she asked. "I made it myself." Dash pleaded. "Pinky, please, I'm sorry if I did anything to you. I didn't mean it. Please let me go. I promise I won't tell anybody." "Oh, Dash, you didn't do anything. It's just that your number came up and, well, I don't make rules. We can't turn back now." Rainbow Dash was tearing up. "How could this be happening?" "Aw, don't be sad, Dash," Pinky said. "Look, this'll cheer you up. I brought you a friend." Out of seemingly nowhere, Pinky displayed a blue and yellow painted skull. It was about pony-sized, but it had a very defining feature. A beak. Dash was freaking out. Is that... Hey, Dash, let's hang together. These ponies are lame-os. Dweebs, Pinky mimicked. I caught her right before she left town. Remember when I left the party for about 20 minutes? That wasn't enough time to play with her, of course. I had to wait until after the party to do that. But boy, I'm glad I did. It was worth all of the flavor alone. Griffins taste like 2 animals at once. It's amazing. I know she didn't have a number like everyone else in Ponyville, but when was I going to get another chance to try a griffin? Hindsight, I probably should have asked where she came from so I can get more, but I forgot. I'll tell you what though, she was quite the fighter. Lasted a long time, which was fun for me. I got a chance to play with somebody other than a pony and try new things. It's too bad she had such a potty mouth. She said so much bad stuff. I had to take her tongue out. You know, bad language makes for bad feelings, Dash. Dash didn't have anything to say. She just sobbed and writhed. Well, Pinky said, putting the skull down. That's enough reminiscing. Time to begin. She picked up a scalpel and walked over to Dash's right flank. Without any flair, she placed the blade an inch above her cutie mark and started a circular cut around it. Her lungs worked overtime. Dash shouted in pain and tried desperately to pull away, but the braces held her still. Finishing the incision, Pinky grabbed the curved skinning knife from the tray. She worked it underneath the skin and sliced the hide from the muscle. Dash ground her teeth as she tearfully watched as her flesh came off. Pinky then moved to the other side and completed the other flank. When she was done, Pinky held up both cutie marks in front of her friend and started waving them like pom-poms. Dash just whimpered. Her thighs burned. Placing the skin down, Pinky selected the large butcher knife and walked behind Rainbow Dash. I hope you don't mind. I think I'm gonna wing it now. Pinky laughed. She grabbed the left one and played with it for a second. Then, stretching the wing out, she brought the blade down at the base. Instantly, Dash screamed and thrashed her appendage. The movement threw off Pinkie Pie's aim, and she tried to hit the mark again, but missed wide, and put a huge slice in Rainbow's back. Dash, you gotta stay still, or I'll keep missing. She took another whack and hit the target. She swung again and again, blood spraying into the air, but realized she wasn't getting anywhere. The blade wasn't going through the bone. I guess I forgot to sharpen it. I'll try something else, she stated as she tossed the knife over her shoulder, the blade embedding itself in the table. The crying Rainbow Dash heard the sound of a metal box opening and closing. Got it. Say, Dash, why do they call it a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hacking is what I was doing with the knife. This is a saw. I don't get it. Pinky placed the tool over the last attempt. It effortlessly sailed through the bone and skin. The painful feeling of the teeth grinding, biting into her, made Dash want to vomit. She watched helplessly as her wing flew over her head and landed with a fluff on the table. Pinky moved to the next and started sawing. Dash didn't struggle this time. She'd given up trying to fight and just cried. Then the sawing abruptly paused. Pinky was only halfway done, the wing hanging off by only a sliver. Hey, Dash, she piped up. Think fast. Suddenly, she yanked the wing as hard as she could. The bones snapped, but the skin held tight. The pull ripped a long strip of flesh down Rainbow Dash's back to her rump. The unexpected trauma caused her body to seize. She felt the warm release between her legs as her pelvis tensed up. Dash's loud, unending melody of pain filled the room. Unable to catch her breath, she blacked out. She awoke with a gasp. The stench of her urine filled her mucus-caked nostrils. She saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie removing the adrenaline needle from her chest. Stomping her hooves, the frustrated Pinkie lashed out. Didn't anybody teach you any manners? It's very rude to fall asleep when somebody invites you over to spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Dash, you're boring. I think I'll take a nap. You think I always liked doing this by myself? I told you how excited I got when I found you were next. I was excited to have a friend to be here with me while I worked, but no, you gotta be inconsiderate. You know, I thought you were tough. I thought you could handle anything. I've had full stand-up better than you. Do I have to baby you, huh? Is this how you want me to remember you? As a baby? She stopped to catch her breath. Dash blinked and softly cried. Her back was on fire. Pinky then popped something red into her mouth and began to chew. She noticed Dash was staring at her. "What?" she asked. "Oh, this?" holding up another piece. "Well, while you were asleep, I got a little impatient and helped myself a sample. I got it from your leg. You're not bad. Want to try some?" Without waiting for a response, she shoved a strip of meat into the revolted Rainbow Dash's mouth. She immediately spit it out. Pinkie picked it up. "If you don't want it, you could have just said no." She then ate the discarded snotty morsel. "It's not like you haven't had it before." Swallowing, she turned her attention to the small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with burning coals. Sitting on top of the fire were several large nails. Dash began to panic again. Pinkie picked up the can and walked over to Rainbow Dash's left, carefully picking up a nail and grabbing a hammer. She positioned the spike at a seam between her leg and her hoof. "No, Pinkie, no!" Dash screamed. "No! No!" The hammer came down and the nail punctured under her skin. The white-hot burning was too much. Dash pulled and thrashed at the brace. Her skin rubbed and torn. Pinkie tried to line up another one, but couldn't find her aim. She let out a frustrated grunt and then pulled the hammer back to take a wild swing. Dash burst out crying and begging, "Please stop! Please, please stop!" Pinkie rolled her eyes, putting the hammer back down. She walked back to the front, in front of her friend. She stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry this much when she stuck that live parasite down her throat. Pinkie thought for a minute what to do next. Then there was a sudden spark in her imagination. She grabbed the gear wheel on the rack and laid Rainbow Dash on her back. She moved to Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Pinkie picked up the hammer, and again she drove a searing piece of metal into the bottom of Dash's hoof. Dash screamed again. Pinkie put one on the other hoof. Next, she located the small generator on the tray, tying the copper wires to the nails. She gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Body seized, muscles struck taut, her hips thrust skyward, and her eyes rolled back. She let out a deep, throat-shredding cry. Pinkie giggled and danced in place. She turned up the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably. Her bladder emptied once more. Okay. After about 5 minutes, Pinkie shut off the power. The area smelled lightly of cooked flesh and burnt enamel. She put Dash upright again and tried to snap the delirious and drooling pony to back to attention. "Dash! Dash! Wake up!" Rainbow Dash managed to give her a modicum of weak acknowledgement. Pinkie reached into the medicine bag and produced a large syringe. "All right, time for the last round." Dash looked at the needle and Pinkie took that as a question as to what it was. "Something to take the pain away," she informed as she walked around to Dash's ruined backside. She stuck the needle into the lower part of her spine. Dash flinched. Coming to the front again, she told her friend, "In a few minutes, you won't be able to feel anything below your rib cage. Then you'll be able to stay awake and watch the harvest." Dash started to cry again. "Pinkie," she trembled out. "Yeah?" "I want to go home," Dash openly sobbed. "Yeah, I can see wanting to do that," the party pony replied. "Sometimes I just want to give up. Say I'm done with this mess and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself up and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead in life." Dash cried. Minutes passed and the drug took effect. Dash was numb from her chest to her flanks. Aware of this, Pinkie approached with her scalpel. With only a smiling glance to Dash, she made a long cut along her pelvis and above her crotch. Moving up her body, she drew a similar incision under the ribs. One final cut was made down her stomach, connecting the first two. "Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash." With a moist, gooey sound, the new door flapped open. The sight of her own organs and the lack of feeling caused Dash's breathing to intensify. Pinky sliced open the abdominal sac and grabbed the large intestines, separating it from the rest of the digestive tract and pulling. I lost my place. Oh, pulling them from the forming cavity. Pinky was getting jovial and started making jokes, Dash growing weaker from the new source of blood loss, tried to shut out the comedy act. Pinky was laughing. "Look at me, I'm Rarity," she said, slinging the tube around her neck and spreading blood in all directions. "Isn't my scarf so pretty?" Reaching back in, she cut the smaller intestine off the bowels, squeezing out the excess excrement. Pinky filed it through her teeth and dragged it back and forth. "Dentists say you gotta floss every day, Dash." Rainbow Dash was barely aware of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Pinky got disappointed. Diving back into the guts, she ramped up her routine. "Aw, don't go yet, Dash." She started pulling out the rest of the organs, stopping at each one. "I know I can be a real pancreas, but I'm just kidney with you. You really gotta learn to liver it up." Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for 'em. She placed the discarded body parts into a bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. "Ooh, bagpipes," she said, placing the tube in her mouth and the organ in her armpit. A spurt of acid hit her tongue. "Ew. Oh, hey, there's your cupcake, Dash." Ugh. Dash didn't hear her. She had slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinky, not satisfied yet, hit her with another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up for the last time, her heart jumping. Her blood flowed out faster. It wouldn't be long now. Pinky put Dash down on her back and straddled her chest, scalpel at the ready. Rainbow Dash, I'm disappointed. I thought you would have lasted longer. I really wanted to spend more time with you before we got here, but I guess it's my fault. I should have taken it a little slower. Oh well, it was really nice knowing you, Dash." The blade sunk into the blue one's throat and worked its way up her chin. Coming back down, it circled around her neck. The last thing Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull, metal scraping her teeth. Ugh. Then she was gone. Pinkie Pie stared into the mirror. She did a really good job, even keeping the eyelids. She winked. Dash winked back. Pinkie smiled, but still, she was sad that her friend was now gone. It only lasted 50 minutes, not nearly as long as she wanted. She looked back to the cadaver hanging there in the center of the room, the last of its fluids draining into the pan. Yep, no more Rainbow Dash. Then Pinkie cocked her head. She was starting to take notice of the fact that there really wasn't much damage. In fact, she began to think, I think an idea exploded into her head. She was good at sewing, and she had all the pieces. All she had to do was put it back together. Yeah, just get some stuffing and bingo. She'd have Rainbow Dash forever. In fact, that's what she'd do to all her friends when their numbers came up. She was so excited. She skipped over to the body with the skinner to get started. The cupcakes can wait. Pinkie had a friend to make. Silver Spoon suddenly woke up. She was on her back and couldn't move. She couldn't see. Where was she? Freaking out, she was just about to scream when the pony from the bakery appeared in front of her. "Hi!" she giggled. "Where am I? What's going on?" the frightened little foal asked. "Oh, well, you see, your number came up, and I gotta make cupcakes," Pinkie explained. What does that mean? What are you talking about?" "Oh, nothing. I wouldn't worry if I was you. It'll be over soon." She approached the girl, scalpel at the ready, when a small voice called out from behind. "Miss Pinkie, what are you doing?" She paused and turned to look to Apple Bloom. The yellow baby pony walked up to her with an angry look on her face. Silver Spoon started to feel a little relieved. "I can't believe you're doing this," she pouted. "You said it was gonna be mine." Pinkie apologized. "Oops, sorry about that. Guess I forgot. Here you go." She handed the blade over. Apple Bloom climbed to the table and stood over her prey. Silver Spoon tried to struggle. She stared in fear at Apple Bloom and her apron. the pink apron with a shiny tiara on it. Silver Spoon started to cry. Apple Bloom grinned and opened her mouth. Hey, Silver Spoon, guess who's gonna be a blank flank? And that is the story of Cupcakes. Hope you liked my Apple Bloom impression. It wasn't. That was my first attempt. Anyways, besides the fact, holy shit, you just turned a innocent story about ponies into this sick, twisted, fucked up murder tale of torture and cannibalism. It's uncharacteristic. It's, there's a lot of spelling errors and words that were the wrong words put into sentences. Like, that's the problem I've been, running into these past couple creepypastas. It's just like, a few words should not be in the sentence, and they are. Like, I don't know. There's a few examples I could pull up from here. It was just a little confusing at times. I'm pretty sure as you were watching me tell the story, you would have noticed where I had to stop and read it again and say it incorrectly, because that's how I am when I'm reading stories, and there's spelling errors or all caps lock or words that shouldn't be in there and then they are. Sometimes I'll replace the words that are incorrect, but other than that, though, if there's a spelling error, I'm gonna say it like I see it. If there's caps lock, I'm gonna scream it, because caps lock is like you're yelling at me, you know. If it's a label, that's fine, but not if it's like all caps. Luckily, I didn't run to the caps lock problem here, or hyper realistic, as I've ran into several stories with that. But there's spelling errors and words that shouldn't be in here. Like, words that shouldn't even, be in the sentence. Like, I don't know, like, there was a few moments, I'll give you an example, like, towards the end, actually, there was, right here, she was starting to take notice of the fact that there really wasn't much damage. In fact, she began to think, really? Things like that could be avoided if you proofread the story. I know you want to have a surprise for the internet, but a few innocent friends could just read your story if you're not carving them up to make cupcakes yourself. They could help you point out spelling errors and the like, unless you don't have any friends, which, in case, you're better off using spell check on Word. That could also help. Spelling errors, come on, guys. I can do better than that. I digress. Anyways, other than that, though, for the first creepypasta and the best creepypasta among My Little Pony fandom and the psychos out there, this is an okayish creepypasta. Not my favorite, only because of my own biased opinion. I love My Little Pony. I love it. So, and when I said that the characters are uncharacteristic, and I mean it's the characters are very not. They're not of the show. I mean, I understand that the author tried to make it characteristic and turned Pinkie Pie into a fucking psycho. I mean, she had one moment in the show. One moment where she kind of lost her mind and it was a little creepy. But really? Really? You're gonna take that one moment and ruin it and just make it into something even worse, making her a psycho? I mean, pretty much all the characters in that show had a moment where they went insane. I mean, Pinkie Pinkie Pie, there was Twilight Sparkle did, and I think Rainbow Dash did too. But seriously, come on. Come on. Come on! Why turn something that's geared towards 6-year-olds and twist it into something so sick? I mean, I understand Rap Rat, but My Little Pony? God, guys. Like I said, okay-ish creepypasta. I'll give this one a 5.5 only because spelling errors, and I hate when they turn shows I like into creepy fucking things. There's a few other reasons. I've already said them, though, so I'm not going to bore you with them. So if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you want to encourage my bad behavior, hit the subscribe button. And being subscribed would let you see the latest content as soon as it comes up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!